But first of all, I want to talk about your early career. So how did you get started in drama?
Well, I think acting has always been what I wanted to do, even as a kid. I was a weird kid. Any kid that wants to do acting as a kid is a weird kid. Just turns out that way. So
Theater
exactly,
kids.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And my wife and I have failed because all three of our children followed in our footsteps. So my son graduated from film at BYU. My eldest daughter was in the MDT program, which is music, dance, theater. And that's what I ran for 28 years.
Music, dance, theater. Right. So that's musical specialization.
Exactly. Yeah. And then our youngest is in dance education, but they're all still working in the industry.
That is amazing. I don't know. Maybe you have conflicted feelings about that. Some parents do.
But I guess the apple doesn't fall that far from the tree. But I just finished 28 years at BYU. My wife just finished 24 years at Provo School District, so we retired together.
Oh, really? Where did she?
She taught at Centennial Middle School.
Oh, did she?
Taught science.
Oh, neat.
And she taught at a couple other places as well, but that's where she retired. So it will be 1 year in about 2 weeks, September 1st. So haven't really felt retirement yet, just because I've gotten involved. I promised myself I wouldn't get involved in a lot of stuff in my first year, and sometimes in this business, you got to take the opportunities when they come, because they don't always.
No.
So I did a film right as soon as I retired, which was always fun because there's a lot of my students in it. So I had one student who had just graduated, played my daughter. Another student was, I think, my nephew in that one. That was a Christmas movie that was shot locally. It came out this last Christmas. Yeah. And then that same company that I had done a number of films with, I had done one in Tahiti 2 years earlier with them, which was great fun. A little intimidating because it was...
Were you an actor in these? Or?
Yes.
Yeah. No, that's great. Yeah.
But I had to do a French accent in a French-speaking country, which was a little...
Oh, boy, that can get you in trouble, particularly with the French.
Absolutely. So we'd go into... I remember going into a restaurant there on the tiny island of Moorea, and it was like... There's all these kind of funky-looking old Frenchmen.
Oh, gosh.
And they thought I was one of them.
They did?
Unshaven and just hanging out. And I could see why the director said, no, we need to stay here for a little while. So anyway, that was fun. Same company that did this Christmas movie. And then they branched out and are doing their first series. Yeah. So we shot season 1 right after that. We're in the midst of shooting season 2. I think the trailer for it just came out. And now we're going into the second half of season 2. Mm-hmm. And in the meantime, I just did a Hallmark movie about football that should come out in like September, October, I'm assuming it'll come out then, called Home Turf, that a friend that you may know, McLean Nelson, directed that.
Oh, yeah, I know him, yeah.
I think McLean played my son in a film that you were crewing in like 15 or 16 years ago.
In fact, a fun thing about that, I was first AC in that movie, and McLean was late for he couldn't show up. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. So anyway, I was a stand-in for him, and because we looked similar enough, and it stayed in the movie. So there's a scene where there's a family shot. For a brief second,
You're my son.
I'm your son. Wow. So actually, I'm an uncredited your son in that movie. But the funny thing is, during my very brief acting career, though, honestly, and I told the director this, like, I don't know, I never wanted to be an actor, but like when I first got into film from still photography, I was like, I don't know anything about acting. So I just went on some auditions to see what it was like. And then I also even had like casting directors for the church, like recruit me for things and stuff. And so anyway, but I'd always end up in the same room with him. It was like always me and him.
I can see why. I mean, you two are kind of similar height and look.
Yeah.
Too, so.
The difference is he really wanted to be an actor, I feel. And he's good at it, but anyway.
And I've done 4 films with him now. He's been really...
Well, that's great. Well, it's good he turned into such a fine director.
Yeah, he has. And it was fun because then I did one with him in Hawaii in 2020. It was during COVID. So it was like in between every take, put your mask back on.
Oh, wow.
And sometimes he would say action and somebody would come and say, Tim, take your mask off. So I'd have to quickly, because I'd forget that it was on. Yeah. And the gal that played my wife in that One Good Man one, he thought it would be fun to have her come back and play my wife in this film, which I'm trying to remember the name of it. It was Once I Was Engaged. is the name of it. It's a sequel to Once I Was a Beehive, a
Oh,
LBS
yeah,
Market
yeah.
movie. And then Pam Eichner, and she's a wonderful actress. And then just a couple months ago on this series that I'm on, she ended up, the director didn't know that we knew each other, but she showed up as my blind date in this scene. And I completely blow it because I play kind of dopey dad in this series. In fact, the trailers have just come out and I'm not in any of it. And I'm like, did I do something wrong?
Did you get completely cut?
But no, it's kind of the jet setter cool people, and they had done a lot of it on a private jet. They had a yacht. They did car racing. They were in
Show the production value. Yeah.
And they were in the Caribbean. And my exotic location was a market in Lehigh.
Yeah.
So that lets you know about what my character was like. But it was great to work with her again on that. And then actually McLean directed this Hallmark Home Turf one that's coming out. But I did get to play a billionaire on that one, so I wasn't dopey dad.
You're a billionaire, man.
Yeah, if I could have the real,
The real money, I think everybody, Well,
cool, but so I haven't really retired.
No, it seems like you're working more than when you were teaching. Because you have the time to commit to these projects.
Yeah,
So.
well, and even though back in the day at BYU, you were either publish or perish, which meant you had a PhD and you had to write, or you were produce or perish. So for me, it was the outside work as an actor. It was all of my directing down at Tuacahn. I'd done 15 shows down there.
Yeah.
And so that was something that was required of me as a professional and as a teacher. So you kind of had to make it all work even when you were.
Oh, geez, that's such a huge time commitment.
Well, now I go, how did I do all that when I had to work, 50 hours a week as well? So retirement does have a few perks with it.